Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in, man.
It is picked up by the Lions. Coming back right side, 25. Picks up a block at the 30. It's at the 40.
Drink it in, drink it in. Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in, man.
Rolls to the right. Stafford throws deep. Got a man out there. Enzo. Caught. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Marvin Jones. Stafford!
Drink it in, drink it in.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Cornbread.
Stafford! Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in, man.
Detroit Koolaid drinkers. We are here on a Wednesday, and we are coming off a W. Griff, before I even introduce you, before I get the people all just psyched up with that Detroit Koolaid, I mean, you know how we do it on the show.
Drink it in, man.
Before we serve it up for him, Grifka, let's just play a little audio clip for the people from this past Sunday against Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. Take a listen to this, everybody.
When they're backed up, find a way, and when you have a Matthew Stafford running the show, you can do it. This will be a 39-yard field goal attempt, and the kick by Matt Prater is good, and the Lions have taken a 26-23 lead, and the game is over. The Detroit Lions have ended an 11-game losing streak.
11-game losing streak, Grifka, the first win of 2020. It's been over 336 days, I believe, since the Detroit Lions won a football game, and we're here to talk all about it right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Grifka, what's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, man, you know me. It's a big W, man, so you know I got to be doing good. Oh,
no
my gosh,
doubt.
This was like, it was like almost like early Christmas present, man. I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting, everybody heard me last show. Thought it was going to be the, they were going to go out there and land turkey and not be able to stop, the hyped Kyler Murray. You saw through that. Kudos to you, Derek. Gosh, that was a good win on Sunday. Real good win.
Grifka, we're going to talk all about it. We're going to be scattershot on this show. We're not going to bore you like some of the other Lions podcasts out there where they, hi everybody, so the Lions won on Sunday. Let's go ahead and start at the first quarter and go. No, we're not going to do any of that. We're going to be all over the place. But Grifka, before we really get rolling, I just want to take a moment to pat myself on the back for the incredible motivation that I gave the Detroit Lions last week, where I ripped them a new one on the Wednesday show. I was all over certain players. I had just, was critiquing everybody left and right. I wasn't serving up the Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid. I'd had enough. I was frustrated. And you know why I did that, Grifka? You know why I did that?
You just you said you had enough?
No, I did that to motivate, Grifka. Somebody had to kick these guys in the rear end, and it had to be me. So I called out people like, I don't know, Jamie Collins for his effort. I called out Tracy Walker, one of my guys, one of my favorite players on the team, for not making the big type of plays or using his length or being able to make tackles impactfully, not 10, 15 yards down the field. I mean, I called out quite a few players on that, and most of those guys showed up in this ball game. I mean, and then on that Friday show, I pumped them up, and like you said, you went with the tide, we're going to get beat by 21 points, blah, blah, blah. And I not only motivated these guys, fired them up. So let's go hit somebody in the mouth. Let's rattle the cage of the 5'4" Kyler Murray and tell him, not only can you not ride the Disney rides, you can't play on Sunday against the Detroit Lions. Multiple turnovers. I think I mentioned that almost every show. Grifka, I mean, it just only seems right off the top to take all the credit for this W. The Detroit Koolaid Cast got it done. Well, at least I did. Don't you think?
Yeah, they must have listened to it on the flight out to Arizona, and those guys really looked themselves in the mirror. They said, this Derek Oakery guy, he knows what he's talking about. We should get him down here at Allen Park one practice. You can do like one of those motivational speeches at practice, something like that. I mean, yeah, they must have really heard you, man.
Practice.
Talking about practice, Griffith, this was the talk I had with Jamie Collins. Let me just sum it up for you. I was like, hey, Jamie Collins.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
I just had to get right into Jamie Collins. What does he do? He's picks. He's getting pressures on the quarterback. He's all over the football field. I mean, let's get into this, man. There's so much to talk about. I feel like the Lions just the reason I beat them up last Wednesday, Grifka, was I didn't see effort. I didn't see a want to. I saw poor tackling. I saw just things that don't happen in other NFL games against the Green Bay Packers. But that's why I'm so proud of this W, because I feel like from start to finish, the Lions didn't play a perfect football game. We'll get to some of the questions I had or some of the concerns I still have, but I thought for 4 quarters they hung in there. They rolled with the tide. They kept their head on straight. They made plays. They turned the football over. They didn't give it away. Matt Stafford protected it well and made plays when they had to. And that's really what NFL games come down to is, hanging in there, making plays, and showing up big late in the fourth quarter. And a certain guy did that, and I think you know who he is, Grifka.
Stafford!
Oh, number 9 was big on that final drive, showed up big, and made plays. So what'd you think overall before we start getting into some of the different things I got here on my mind today?
The effort was definitely there. I thought the team would be down. I don't know if they heard what Mr. Cliff Kingsbury had to say about their defense, and I was reading all the stuff afterwards that they were looking for respect, and the defense was kind of tired of it, and yeah, so maybe they did look themselves in the mirror, but that was probably the most motivated I've seen them play out of the 3 games this year. It seemed in the Chicago game we talked about it, when they got up in the second half, they just kind of like, okay, we got this, and then when it started to go off the wheels, they really couldn't pull it back. This whole game, they seemed to be in there fighting. It was pressure was brought, by the defense. They called it up, and I was just very, very impressed with the definite 180 from week 2 to week 3 that this team had.
Yeah, it was definitely felt different, looked different. I don't have the exact numbers, but I want to say they really played, 40% of zone and the rest man coverage. There were still some frustrating things to see in coverage from Okudah, even though he made the big interception. But overall, I think they just not only mixed it up, but one thing Matt Patricia does that he doesn't get a lot of credit for is he does kind of go week to week with the things that he does in regards to how he's trying to win. And I felt like in this game, his concept was to sort of, get pressure in the face of Kyler Murray so he couldn't see, and then play the football on the back end, meaning like have guys in positions to be able to pick and get tips and tackle, keep guys in front of you, things like that. And I think all that came to fruition and helped get the W. It was nice to see. I mean, it was one of those games where I even had some friends and stuff that were thinking, here we go again, this is going to be another one we lose late. And there were definitely some moments where, I had my questions, but that's again another reason I was so proud, because I felt like that's what everybody was thinking, and they did kind of the exact opposite. They not only hung in there, they showed up big on that fourth quarter drive. Matt Pat had to make a couple tough coaching calls. Those seemed to work out. I mean, I put this under the team win category, top to bottom. Really proud of the Lions. And people can say, oh, it's just one win. Like, you look back at it, like, team should easily be 2-1 right now and embarrassed by their performance in Green Bay. Absolutely. But 2-1 would be much better. DeAndre Swift makes that play. Ifs and buts, I get it. But, this was a big win. It was a road win. It was against a team that was really hot. It was against a big-time offense. And what was our big issue? The defense. And not only did we hung in there, we only gave up 23 points, and we put up points. Just lots of good things to build on, I think.
Now one part I really liked, and I know you're going to say y'all might bringing it down, blue, blue, boo, boo. But that pass at Stafford through late in the game to Marvin Hall, that was a touchdown that was called back because of the holding. That was just such a pretty ball, and the way Hall got behind the defenders. And, I mean, it had to be one of the best deep balls I've seen Stafford ever throw. That just wasn't, a jump ball to Calvin or something like that, where, no, it hit him in stride, and, nice catch over the shoulder, perfectly put where only Hall would be able to catch it. I was so impressed by that. I jumped out of my seat, and then I saw the flag thing, and I was like, oh gosh. But still, I love that pass. I mean, that was just such a nice pass.
Grifka, that's not bringing it down. That's giving 9 some love.
Stafford!
That was a hell of a ball. Your boy Marvin Hall doing what he does, catching 40, 50-yard balls. And here's the thing on that play. We're jumping around here on this show. In my opinion, if that's not a flag, that's a touchdown because he came on top of the defender, rolled in the end zone. So, yeah, good we get the touchdown. Good Matt Stafford and Hall get those statistics, but I don't know that you want the touchdown right there. Even the ball on the one would have been better because then you could basically take a couple knees and do what they did is kick a field goal. So it's kind of fortunate. Grifka, I know they can find you at Grifka DKC. We know. Uh, but on Twitter, somebody put out the all 22 of that, and it's a really weak holding. I mean, I'm sure you weren't surprised that Fox didn't go show it again. Is it just me, Grifka, or the Fox announcers just blatantly rooting against the Lions every game? It's like when the other team does something incredible, the announcer goes ballistic, and when we make a play on a football, it's like he's depressed. It's just, it was that Dick Stockton or whatever. He's garbage. He's freaking horrible.
Yeah, he's been around for a bit, but yeah, it seems like that. I don't know. People say it's like, oh, you only say that because you're a Lions fan, and they're like, other teams feel the same way. But no, that first game, we listened to, they pretty much love Mitch Trubisky, and now he's benched, and Matt Nagy's like, yeah, Foles are a starter from now on, and everybody knows Aaron Rodgers. Everybody, sips at the cup of Aaron Rodgers. So, and then yeah, Kyler Murray's been deemed, the next greatest thing. Look what he did. He came back and beat San Francisco, and look how they ran up on a poor Washington team, and this guy's the second coming, and this is going to be the new style offense, and Detroit went in there and threw some things at them, and switched up their defenses, brought some pressure, and really played great, and you really got to hand it to the Lions coming back that way.
And Grifka, I hate on every show to remind you of the gimmicks or why a lot of people listen to this show, but you can't mention your boy Aaron Rodgers without doing a mini rant, but getting in a word. I don't know. It begins with S, ends with mug. Can you do that for the people? Give him a little Aaron Rodgers rant just for some fun today.
Well, yeah, Aaron Rodgers, he was all mad because they didn't take a wide receiver or any offensive things. And he's like, everybody's like, oh, he's just going to go and show the world. No, dude, you still get calls. You're still pretty smug. You're still a jerk. And, it's kind of like the worst thing. And, watching that, I was watching the Sunday night game, and they were like, come on, New Orleans house. And they're still kind of like, well, it's a blatant pass interference. Well, like their offensive wide receivers not pushing off. So they can use the term hand fighting, when Green Bay does it. Oh, there's some hand fighting there. No, that guy's pushing off. So, but yeah, they were, New Orleans got the pass interference. They're just like kind of like giving them the ball. Oh, here, you guys go down and score. We're good with this. Whatever. Yeah. It's nice that you guys want a trophy named after your coach. Give me a break.
Aaron Rodgers, one of the most smug individuals. Grifka loves to remind us weekly that the trophy's named after their coach. And I can't wait till number 12 gets knocked off his pedestal. He's up there riding high like he's gonna take home the trophy this year. They're gonna like fade at the back half of the year. He's gonna get injured, break his collarbone like he does every other year. It's ridiculous. But let's get back to the Cardinals, Grifka. So I got tons of things written down here of just random stuff to talk about. We've talked about a lot of positive here. I want to throw one thing at you that's just got me befuddled here on the show. And that's, where the hell is DeAndre Swift? I mean, he took this guy in the second round. He's one of the most silky athletes I've seen the Lions have in a while. Yeah, I get it. He's a rookie. I understand he hasn't made a bunch of plays yet, but that's probably because the Lions have gone Lions and act like no rookies can just be out there and you make tons of plays. Like, this guy saw 6 snaps or something, and he caught like one 20 or 30-yard ball. You didn't see him. Like, I was on Twitter going, is DeAndre Swift hurt? Like, it's late second quarter. I haven't even seen number 32 in the ball game. And then he makes the one mistake where he doesn't read the hot route. You just yank him for the rest of the game. Like, you need this guy out there to be dynamic in the passing game, stretch out defenses. I guarantee he can help you based on what he's done in college, the skill set he has. Nobody else can do that from the Lions from a running back perspective. So, Grifka, talk to me about DeAndre Swift just being not used at all, even though we're happy about the W. This is an issue for me.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It's just maybe they think because there was very, no, preseason, off-season workouts, and he's only at training camp. Maybe they're still thinking he needs to get his feet wet, and I don't know, but or like they're just like, okay, Adrian Peterson's like really showing up. We're gonna like really start feeding him the ball. But for as nice as he's looked, I mean, it's a long season, so you're gonna have to at some point, stop, watch the carries for Adrian Peterson, get Swift out there. He did have that nice catch where he scampered up along the sidelines, got the first down. But when I saw that he only had 6 touches, I'm just like, wow, really? I mean, this is your second-round pick, and this is the guy. And there was points where they had the offensive sets in there on third down, and like Kerryon Johnson's in there. And I'm like, well, he's in there for pass blocking, and that's what they did. I mean, he was in there for pass blocking. So it's like you're pretty much once again you're cutting down your offensive playbook, because I think even teams are starting to realize that, like third down and mid to long, and Kerryon Johnson's going to be in there. Well, he's not running around; he's just in there for blocking. So I think where we say Swift can catch the ball, which he's good at it. I think you're really downsizing your playbook when you do that. So I'd like to see Swift in there a little more. Get the guy in there. It's just I've said it before: running back, blocking, picking up blitzes, all mentality, and he definitely needs to get more touches if that's your second round pick. If not, then he's just it's kind of a wasted year if you're just going to let him be the third guy and just kind of ride pine.
So in summary, Grifka, in regards to DeAndre Swift, you're not quite for sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of for sure that they're going to waste away his rookie year. If they're going to do this, we're just getting J.D. McKissick touches. If they're going to try to find more ways to get Jamal Agnew involved in the offense, it seems like they really worked hard at that, which I'm like, and the funny thing is that first play that he caught, all I can think about is that Twitter beef you told me after the first game you had with that guy saying, Jamal Agnew would have caught that, I'm like, okay. I'm like, all of a sudden, like Jamal Agnew's like becoming this big part of the offense. It's just like, really? Okay, that's nice. You got a new toy, so you want to play with it a little bit, but get the guys in there that actually play offense.
Grifka, give Jamal Agnew a Grifka congratulations for me.
Yeah, congratulations.
So Grifka, this is what's called a take. Let me do something, because your roundabout answer about DeAndre Swift, I mean, it basically did this.
It drives me freaking bonkers.
Because Grifka, when you draft a guy in the second round that played at Georgia, that can catch the football, score touchdowns, got crazy wiggle, has exceptional acceleration, and you give him not 6 touches, Grifka, I'm pretty sure he had 6 snaps. One was a completion for 30, the other one was a ball that hit him in between the 3 and the 2 on the back of his jersey, and that was about all you saw from the guy all day, if I'm not mistaken. So, hey, Bob Quinn, hey, Matt Patricia, hey, Daryl Bevel, get your playmakers out on the football field and score points. I know you want to bring these guys along like they're a baby in kindergarten, but every other team I see, I don't know, like the Kansas City Chiefs, are putting Clyde Edwards-Helaire out there 90% of the snaps. He's just out there running, catching. Even last night in the Monday night game, or earlier this week, he's out there when the game's on ice, still running the ball hard up the middle and getting touches. So you gotta involve DeAndre Swift. I mean, if somebody got after me on Twitter, because Adrian Peterson is a beast. Nobody said Adrian Peterson isn't a beast. He's running the football great. I can't believe it sometimes when he's making these hop cuts and running for 20, 25 yards. I think he caught a ball out of the backfield too and rumbled for a good 15 plus a couple times in this game. I mean, he's been excellent. He's a great veteran. I don't want him not to get the ball, but if you're just going to ice DeAndre Swift because of a rookie mistake or because you think he's not 100% ready, well, I'm pretty sure he's not going to get ready just standing on the sideline. So let's get him involved. And I love your take, Grifka, on Kerryon, because I was the guy a couple years ago that said, well, all right, we found a running back. This is the guy. And I'm surprised, or I'm sure you will start beating me up about that, but Grifka, he's not the guy. This guy's, after the knee injuries, that stupid brace that he wears, I mean, I have no faith in Kerryon Johnson. I've tried to move him in all of my fantasy leagues. I feel like he is a glorified offensive lineman now. And you should take that as a negative and as a knock on Kerryon the player, because you're only going to see glimpses. I mean, what he had, one or two runs in this game that were decent and a whole lot of pass protection. His pass protection was really good. The times he was in there, he got his face in there and picked up people, and that helped us make plays. So, I mean, I hate to have a second-round pick that had the talent Kerryon had be in that role, but I just think the injuries have caught up to him, and the Lions have said, hey, this is what we need you to be great at, and he's good at that, but I don't think you're going to see many more plays and running and catching from number 33. I think it's going to be very limited, especially this season. But let's get 32 in there along with Adrian Peterson. Can we do that, please? Because I was real frustrated about it. But let's get back to the good, Grifka, and let's talk about a man that I know you have to have a take on. Actually, I'm going to throw two at you that I just know you're going to love right here. The first one is, I don't know, TJ Hawkinson. Grifka, are you ready to admit that this guy is really coming along? He's a little weapon. He's able to move sticks on third down. He's much more consistent catching the football, seems to be more physical in the blocking game. Really coming along, I think, as a nice tight end, and he's had limited usage. Like, he's been great every time he gets the ball. The problem is he's still not getting the ball enough. What are your thoughts on TJ Hawkinson? And then I'll ask you about another certain player after that.
Hawkinson's taking that step forward. I really like the plays. I think it was in the fourth quarter when the Lions were driving and Stafford went to him. A couple plays in a row where he really used his body to block out the safety that was guarding him, and that's perfect for him. I mean, it's great how he can do that, and he's catching the ball really well. And yes, his blocking has improved. Still don't like it at the 8th pick, but he's really he's really coming along, taking that step forward that we need him to do. So
Darrell Bevel,
he's playing pretty well this year.
Let's dial 88 up a little more. Darrell Bevel, I mean, he's been great, but like you said, those little catches over the middle on third and medium, the little crossing routes he runs where Stafford puts it right on him, he's able to turn it upfield. Those are great, so I really like what I'm seeing there. Grifka, the next player, I mean, again, let's just take out some random players here to ask you about. Let's talk about Taylor Decker, Grifka. Taylor Decker had a 94.2 run blocking grade in PFF. I don't know, I think you've been quoted on this show of saying, he can't run block at all. He's not a very good football player. Grifka, he seems to be 6th overall in tackles in regards to his overall rating, both run and pass. I mean, he shut down Khalil Mack. You didn't hear peep one really from Chandler Jones pretty much in this ball game. I can't remember the Smith brothers giving us a whole bunch of trouble in Green Bay off that left end. I mean, Taylor Decker's been good, and don't give me some garbage about the one-off, false start he had. I mean, this guy has great numbers. We've paid him long-term. He's been playing good football. Are you ready to give him any credit, or is he going to have to choke slam you at training camp through the barricade?
No, I'll still wait for the choke slam through the barricade. 3 games.
So nothing good to say about our left tackle, despite all the stats.
Completely average. Stafford went down a bunch. I mean, offensive line's a whole line. Just not one guy. So
all right. That's an embarrassment to you, Grifka, that you can't give this guy any credit. But okay, I get it. The people probably figured you'd be stubborn in that way or be negative still. So let me give you another player to talk about. I've talked about 2 of my faves and 2 that I knew you would hate. Let me throw this one out because I'm really curious your take on this guy. What about the punter love for Fox? This guy is being talked about by Eric Schlitt like he's going to be in the Hall of Fame like tomorrow. Eric Schlitt loves him some. I don't even know the guy's first name. Is it Jason Fox? Is that right?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, all I know is he can kick that ball, man. I don't know where they found this guy. I don't know how this guy wasn't drafted. You see teams draft punters late, just kind of like, oh yeah, he's pretty good, but this guy, oh my gosh, how is this guy not drafted? He's like booming the ball.
We don't even know his name, but yeah, Jack Fox. I mean, okay, you're going on and on about him.
Could be Samantha Fox. I don't care. I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
He's a punter, though. Like, I agree he's been good and he's boomed a bunch, but it's 3 games from a punter. Is he helping us? I don't know. It just seems crazy to me that, this guy gets so much love. I feel like he's been good, but I'm just not willing to go crazy about it.
Well, he hasn't shanked one yet, the old Sam Martin way. So, I'm saying right now he's a little better. He's harking back to the days of the old Jim Arnold, if Lion fans remember who Jim Arnold was.
Grifka, I hated me some Sam Martin. I mean, what'd he come out there with his towel, his knapsack, his stickum on his gloves, his visor. He had every gimmick under the book, almost like you here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. So I'm glad he's gone, but I just laugh over people that, wow, Jack Fox is the best punter in football. Oh, he's got these ratings, he's got this average. It's like, Yeah, I'm happy. He's done well, but he's not going to win us games by himself by the 6 punts he has per game. Can he flip the field? Can he pin people deep? Is that important? Absolutely. I'm not trying to say it's not important, but I just think it's funny that I think I was listening to Matt Derry on Locked On Lions, and he's like, Jack Fox is a beast. like, I'm like,
He's a
what?
punter. Okay, I ain't going that far.
I'm like, he's a
he's
punter,
really good
bro.
at what he does.
He's been a good punter. He's not a freaking beast, okay? Like, he's got to keep it up for this is a Grifka gimmick, but I mean, do it for more than a half a season before people start going crazy. And he's a freaking punter. I know there are people too, hashtag Rich Eisen, but I mean, come on. I just think it's crazy the kind of love this guy gets. So, I was curious what you thought about him, but he helped us in a few games this year. But don't be giving him W's or giving him a gold jacket. Let's put it that way. Easier,
I mean,
actually.
he is a punter. I mean, he's not Ray Guy, because Ray Guy would kick the ball and go down and make the tackle, actually. So much love to former Raider. So,
Grifka, let's talk about these turnovers again. My go-to on this show, I think it's tried and true in the NFL. You win the turnover battle, you win football games. The Lions have completely been awful at this since mid last year, and when they didn't have their quarterback. I don't know how people expect you to win ball games when you have a third string nobody quarterback and you can't turn the football over or get pressure on the quarterback. Yeah, that's pretty good formula to lose ball games. So I felt like this game we found ways to, one ball came right to Deron Harmon. The other one was a great little sneaky play by Collins, and then a hell of a play by the young kid Okudah after he kind of had a pretty rough day where he was playing, 18 yards off coverage and just, pushing DeAndre Hopkins out of bounds time after time. He came up big with that crossing route, got a pick. I mean, aren't you with me that if they can go get interceptions and create fumbles and have a sack or two, that's really how you win in the National Football League.
yeah, Derek, I have to agree with you on that. That's people, you hear it all the time. Whoever wins a turnover battle generally wins the game. But I mean, it's got to be defensive scheme as well. I mean, they actually decided to bring some pressure too, and made, like you said, the little man have to get rid of the ball. And when guys are in his face, he can't see over him, so he's just kind of chucking the ball up. So. Yeah, it was almost after the first interception, I kind of rubbed my eyes to make sure I was seeing it right. I'm like, did that just happen? I thought I was going to, snap out of it and just go back to the game. But no, it's got the interception, and then they got, then Collins got one. I was like, wow, man, this is utterly amazing. And Derek obviously gave him the pep talk. So.
Yeah, I had to get in. I had to get in on some of these fools and get them turned in the right direction. Grifka, is there anything better other than the smug Aaron Rodgers having issues turning the football over than watching the pint-sized Kyler Murray turn the football over again and again? I mean, him with his stupid headband on and his big gold chain, and him out there trying to act like he's the greatest thing since sliced white bread, and it's like, Kyler Murray, man, you've made a few plays. Okay, you can scamper around from time to time. Like, I just love it that when real men that are 6'5" are right in front of him, he's just chucking the ball to an area hoping that somebody's open, because this guy can't ride the Typhoon race or Typhoon ride at the amusement park. He can't. He's not going to be able to survive in the NFL, I'm here to tell you. And all this love he was getting was just like, whatever, man. Like, I'm just glad he got put in his place. And I loved his smug, stupid look over there where he's complaining to his coach. He's got that just far away look in his eye, like he can't believe everything's not going perfect for him. Oh, man, it made my Sunday. It was so great to watch. I'm sure you got that GIF I sent you where I sent Kyler Murray a little message. I didn't put that out on Twitter, but I thought that was just for you and a couple of my buddies.
Well, yeah, that's the, that's the know your role right there. It's just like, you got a little love. He made a couple plays, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, look at this guy! He's going to transcend. He's going to change the game." No, back to what you were. I mean, it's going to be the same as always. I mean, set up force it against quarterbacks like him all the time. They come in, think they're going to change the world. Revitalize the game. It's going to be totally different with a guy out there running around. But yep. Whatever. You throw up a bunch of stats in a crappy football conference, and everybody thinks you're going to be like, the next best thing, and you're changing everything. And I know people are like, well, look at Lamar Jackson. Yeah, you're right. Lamar Jackson, Once again, teams know how to shut down running quarterbacks. You got to keep them in the pocket. You got to let them throw the ball. Let them do that. So that's what the Lions did with Kyler Murray. That's what Kansas City did with Lamar Jackson. It's like, okay, whatever. Go ahead. Make them throw the ball.
Grifka, we got so much more to talk about. We'll do it after the break. But before we go to break, I think you said something like know your role to Kyler Murray. So I think I'll just give him a couple messages just from me and you to him. And that's simply this. Hey, Kyler Murray.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
Hey, this is from the Lions, Oakery, and Grifka here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Hey, Kyler Murray, on Sunday, you know what you had? You had a little pint-sized, 4'2", nothing wannabe quarterback with your headband, your gold chain, your dumb look on your face. You know what you had on Sunday?
No chance. So that's what you got.
There it is, Grifka. I think we've said enough. I think, what time is it now, Grifka, when we normally go to break? Help me out here.
It's time to pay some bills, man.
We got to pay those bills. We got to go to the pay window. And we'll do that. That's straight up shout out to Benny Blades. Everybody, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
A Max, seu streaming queridinho, veio aqui no seu podcast para saber. Você curte reality aventureiro ou prefere um conteúdo mais emocionante? Seja lá qual for seu preferido, tem na Max. Os realities que você ama, como Quilos Mortais, agora em versão 100% brasileira. E tem novidade, Sobrevivência Extrema vai ser o seu novo vício para maratonar. Tem Largados e Pelados, Masterchef, Operação Fronteira e muito mais conteúdo brazuca para ver. Vida real para todos os gostos é na Max.
Quando você ouve um podcast, está procurando entretenimento ou conhecimento, certo? E se você procura por desempenho e qualidade para o seu veículo, qual a sua escolha? Os amortecedores Motorcraft têm tecnologia Ford e oferecem uma condução suave para uma viagem tranquila e segura. Escolha a confiabilidade dos amortecedores Motorcraft, válidos para a linha K, Fiesta, EcoSport e muito mais. Quando terminar seu podcast, é só acessar a loja da Ford no Mercado Livre e experimentar a diferença.
Detroit Kool-Aid drinkers, back from the break. Again, we say it every week, but we really mean it. Thank you so much for listening to our sponsors. We got Anchor Podcasts. We've got Spotify. They're really always helping out the show, keep the lights on, keep this thing going. We really have a ton of fun doing it, especially when the Lions get W's. Those are always fun shows to do. So we're having fun with this Cardinals show. Be coming to you Friday morning, talking about the New Orleans Saints. I'm sure Grifka will say something to get me upset on that show, but we try to entertain, have some fun. And then if you want to check out my other podcast on Thursday mornings, that's Believe, B-L-E-A-V, in Lions, with Lions legendary safety Benny Blades. He likes to talk about the Hurricanes every 5 seconds, but he loves his Lions, and I'm sure he's going to be fired up to talk about this W against the Arizona Cardinals. So can't wait to do it. Definitely hit that subscribe button. Share this with a friend, no doubt about it. Grifka, if they happen to want to maybe find you on social media, maybe either make fun of you, say one of your gimmick lines, harass you about TJ Hawkinson, or Taylor Decker, where could they find you?
Anybody who wants to do that, including Taylor Decker and TJ Hawkinson, you can find me at Grifka DKC. That's at G-R-I-F as in Frank, K-A-D-K-C. So please hunt me down. I would love to speak with you, TJ Hawkinson, especially you, Taylor Decker. I had to spell my last name because Ohio State and spelling's not very high in guys' list from Ohio State.
Grifka, if somebody tweets at you, what's the probability that you might actually get back to them with a humorous comment or maybe some type of response? I mean, what's the probability? Maybe like 1 out of 10?
Well, no, it ultimately depends on what it's about. Somebody's just looking for some pathetic argument, like TJ Hawkinson's great or Taylor Decker's great. Yeah, okay, I see where that's going. But, to actually explain to me why, you feel TJ Hawkinson's awesome, we could have a little banter. Or, why he was picked, we could have a little banter. Or why Taylor Decker, is like overrated and he's completely average. Yes, I might agree with that, and I would like that very much.
Oh my gosh, people. I yell at Grifka at least probably 2 to 3 times a week about trying to help out the show, maybe put out something humorous, maybe interact with people on Twitter, maybe share the show. I mean, everybody that listens know that I'm the workhorse of the show. I mean, Grifka shows up, couple hours, tries to make you laugh with a couple things that he says, and away we go. But I got him somewhat positive. The Lions beat the Cardinals. We talked about a lot today. Grifka, let's dive back into this ball game. I've got a question for you where I already think I know the answer. So it's kind of late in the ball game, mid fourth quarter, whatever it was. I wasn't able to really find it on the highlights that I watched. There was a point in the game where we were kind of in that no man's land. You could punt it, you could kick a field goal, and the Lions decided to punt it. I know I talked with a couple friends as it happened and said, man, I still would have put my faith in Matt Prater to make a deep, I think it was probably a 53, 55-yard field goal, somewhere in that range, because I think it would have put us up at the time. Do you know the situation I'm talking about, and were you in let's try go for a field goal and get up in this game, or did you like it that they punted it? And I think they held them, again, the future Hall of Famer, the greatest punter of all time, Jack Fox, put the ball within the 5-yard line, I believe, so it ended up working out. But what did you think of that scenario?
I like the punt thing. I know everybody's like, oh, Prater's got the leg, he can make it. But I don't know. I just like how they did that. They obviously felt the defense was playing pretty well. And obviously the man, the myth, the soon-to-be Hall of Famer, Mr. The wonderful Wiley Fox, he pinned him deep and the defense held. So,
yeah, like I said, it worked out, but man, I was questioning at the time. I felt like it was playing a bit scared or basing things, I don't know, like Grifka does on the show, based on what happened weeks ago, when really all that matters is would he have made that field goal? And instead they went ahead and punted it, but it all ended up working out. Let's see what else we got here. I thought Matt Stafford was okay throughout the game. I feel like he missed some throws. Grifko, I think we buried the lead. I don't know how I didn't bring this up. I guess because it's not on my sheet, because this guy's an absolute waste of space, piece of garbage. But what about the outlaw Jesse James absolutely stealing a touchdown early in this football game? You know why he stole a touchdown, Grifka? Because like I said on Twitter, at Derek Oakery, he's been stealing money from the Detroit Lions since he signed here. But all of a sudden, we sneak him out of a tight set. And of course, nobody covered him because the guy hasn't made a play since he put on the Honolulu Blue. But he makes the catch, he scores. Is it just me, or is he still an absolute waste? But hey, I'll take the touchdown.
Well, I'm going to borrow a line from your friend here. I think he finally showed up and played because last time he picked up his check, something said on it like not sufficient funds.
Benny Blades loves to talk about the if a guy should get paid or not based on what he did. And yeah, Jesse James has nowhere close to earned his contract. You know what made me laugh is so he catches the ball like the 3. He looks like he's stuck in mud when he catches it, and he puts his arm out for the ultimate stiff arm, before he even turns his body around. Just looks like he's frightened that he's going to get hit by someone. It's how about you just learn how to run? That would be nice. You're just a 6'6", 6'7" stick in the mud is what this guy is. But he made a couple plays in this game. I mean, I think it was good by Darrell Bevell saying, you know who they won't expect to ever get the football or ever make a play? The outlaw Jesse James. And that was the case. I mean, total surprise attack by Darrell Bevell and company. So, hey, man, it worked out. But, wow, this guy can't play. I'm sorry.
Whatever. He's just going to be he's going to be a featured part of the offense now. The outlaw. Stealing the ball from TJ Hawkinson.
Oh, my goodness. I sure hope not. Grifka, I want to talk about the late game, but I want to throw out 2 other side funny nuggets. So, again, I just mentioned our Twitters. If you were keeping halfway paying attention, I put out a tweet on Monday morning, and it went something like this. Hey, Mike Valeni, 97.1, you are a worthless, miserable human being, my friend, because this guy, it doesn't matter what any team in this city does. If you're not perfect in every sense of the word, if you haven't won a championship every single season you've been in existence, this guy wants to fire everyone, tank the season, get the draft picks, bring in the top free agents. He's got it all figured out. I mean, the Detroit Koolaid drinkers and the people love this tweet, Grifka, again, blowing up with hundreds of likes and retweets because people hate Mike Valeni, and it's basically because he's just a miserable, negative, just guy that loves to. Here's his gimmick. Here's the only 2 go-tos he has, Grifka. He bashes the Lions when when they lose, he turns it into a clown show for ratings or because that's what he likes to do on the show. And then when they win a ball game and they play tough, you got to hear 3+ hours of him just saying why it wasn't a good win, why the team's no good, why this is going to be bad because now they can't fire everyone. Like, those are the only two things he can go to. I don't know if this guy has any clue about football or if those are just two things he has on record. He just plays one of the two of them on Monday through Friday, and maybe he's not even live on the air. I don't know what this guy's problem is, but like I said, lots of Detroit Kool-Aid drinkers out there don't want to hear this guy, and they were giving me grief like I'm sitting there listening to him for every day of the week, 3 hours. It's like, no, I had to listen to him for 2 seconds, and it was the same thing he's done the past decade here in this town. And yeah, I just turn the channel. I go to something else that's halfway intelligent and actually entertaining rather than the same old from this guy that hates our teams. Like, hey, thanks for being the radio host in Detroit and hating all of our teams. Appreciate it. Did you happen to catch wind of this, Grifka? Got any takes? Got anything strong?
No, I saw the tweet, but you're right. That's pretty much, I ever listened to him. That's all it ever was. It was always just, ripping on Detroit. And, we all seen the articles prior that the Lions, tried to get him off the air. And, he pretty much has it in for him. But you're right. That's all it is. Just people calling in to listen to him, see how he's going to, turn anything into the negative. So it would just irk Lions fans. So that's what he does. I mean, we all know it. I stopped listening to those guys a long time ago. So you just kind of get tired of hearing the same crap over and over again.
How about a Grifka whatever from Mike Valente?
Yeah. Hey, Mike Valente, whatever. Congratulations.
Hey, Mike Valente, this one's from me.
That was a disgraceful performance.
That's for you. That's every one of your shows. You just play Jim Mora just to remind you how horrible your takes are and that thing you want to call a radio show is here in the city of Detroit. Okay, we get it. Our teams don't have rings. We don't have 1 million Super Bowls. We don't have the greatest sports teams right now, but it doesn't mean fire everyone, start over every season. I mean, I don't think that's a very intelligent response. So anyway, I want to get that off my chest. Grifka, let's go back to PFF for a moment. I know you have your issues. You know that I support them, not only because I do work there, but also because these guys put in the time, the effort, and they watch every snap of every game in every league, NFL, college, everything that's football. These guys are all on top of it. They're starting to get into high school. They're getting into draft. Everything they've got going is just the best analysis out there because these guys aren't just making it up. They're literally grading every minute detail of football. So, Frank Ragnow is the second-ranked center right now based on what I saw. You got to love that. Kenny Galladay in his return was a 77.2, so one of the top-graded players. Really nice to have Kenny back in the fold. I want to play a quick game, Griff. I've got the whole roster up, and a lot of these players, a lot of the main players, they have what they're ranked out of all the starting people at that position, or all the I don't know if it's starters or just the main players at whatever spot, wide receiver, quarterback, running back, defense. Name a player, and I'll tell you where he ranks in the overall number of players they have here based on what they've done so far this season.
Let's go with, was it Tyrell Crosby?
Crosby, the newfound right tackle for the Detroit Lions. What'd you think about them playing him on the right side, moving Hal Vaitai in at guard? Did you like that? You think it worked out or what?
Yeah, I mean, it would have been Vaitai's first start, and I don't think they felt they had another guard that could, fill in, when they moved Jackson over for, nice job, Joe Dahl. So, I was okay with it.
All right, so Terrell Crosby is 31st out of 71 tackles. So kind of right in the middle range there. I mean, again, he's been in and out throughout his career. I've always thought he's been okay, put him in the Grifka okay category when he's been in. I mean, he hasn't sucked, but he hasn't been that great. So I've been okay. I think he's played a little bit better as of late, but it's not a guy I really want to hang my hat on over there at right tackle. He's sort of underperformed based on what I thought coming out of the draft, but he's put in a couple good performances, no doubt. You got another player, Grifka? Keep this game going?
Oh, yeah. Let's go with your boy, Jarhead Davis.
All right, Jared Davis. Let me see here. He's not at the very bottom, I'll tell you that. Where are my linebackers here? Jared Davis, he's 39th out of 77th linebackers. So right in the middle there of linebacker rankings per PFF. He's in the 50s and 60s in his overall ratings.
Oh, yeah, probably because he's had so few plays to get graded the last couple of weeks, and he's never on the field because he sucks. So okay, I guess I can't really complain about that one.
I guess,
well,
like I said, you were happy they took him off the field. I felt like I'd still like to see him more in more of a rush role, but he's got to earn those snaps. So they took him off against the Cardinals, and it seemed to work out. So happy day for you. I know you love it when our players are horrible, and you get just glee out of that.
Yep. Let's do the last one here. Let's go with your boy Frankenstein, Christian Jones, the totem pole out there.
Christian Jones, 7 spots ahead of Jared Davis, 32nd out of 77 rated linebackers. He rates in pass rush nearly a 70 rating. He is a 47 in coverage and 55 in run defense for an overall 55.7 for Christian Jones.
Oh, okay. We'll just go with those 3. Let's keep moving.
All right. A couple other things to finish out the show. One funny side nugget. I sent this to you, Grifka. Bill Keenis has decided to follow me on Twitter. There is no word if this is. He does not have a blue check mark, but random Bill Keenis gave me a follow. I know we've done a whole tribute show to him in the past. We've brought him up. Grifka, what's something Bill Keenis might say if we ever brought him on the Detroit Koolaid Cast?
Couple more for Oak.
The legendary Bill Keenis. If you guys don't know who we're talking about, he's that dude with the big goatee and the white hair that you'd always see behind the podium during pressers, and his go-to line is, couple more for Coach. I think that's all he says. He probably has like a little wind-up or a button in the back of his shirt there. He just presses that when he knows it's time to close up the press conference. But yeah, I don't know.
One that would always like, Bill will get that for you. Right. Bill will get, like, that's like what Schwartz go-to line. It's like, hey, Coach Schwartz, could you get us the stat? Yeah, could you get us the stats for the game? Yeah, Bill will get that for you. It's like, hey, he's like the guy. He must have been the gopher. It's like, who's getting lunch today? Oh, Bill will get that for you. Need my car wash. Bill will get that for you.
Absolutely. It's we did the tribute show when Bill Keenis is no longer with the Detroit Lions. I don't know if they wished him well on his future endeavors, or maybe he's just out there tweeting now and following great podcasts like the Detroit Koolaid Cast. I'm not quite for sure. But Grifka, let's finish it up with this. I mean, 4 minutes left in the ball game. Lions tied up. Lions get the football deep in their territory, inside the 10. I hate to even ask what you were thinking at this point, but what were you thinking? And also talk me through how much you loved Bing Bam Boom down the field, even despite a couple calls that brought the touchdown back, some other things like being able to move it down the football field, put him in great range, couple great throws by Stafford, win the game. I mean, straight up dagger time, son.
Yeah, what I was thinking when they got the ball at that point, I was just like, oh gosh, man, it's one of those things I'm always like, this is such a long way to go. It's such a long way to go. And then, they're like, oh, okay, they're getting a little closer. Okay, they're getting a little closer. Getting a little closer. And, it's just like, come on. And then, it's like, oh, could they do this? Could they do this? Come on. It's just like, and it's like, I don't mind, kicking a field goal to win it. But it's like one of those things I almost want it to be like the chippiest of chip shots. It seems like at points they're like, okay, we're within 50 yards. This will be a 50-yarder. We're good. Don't get sacked. Don't do this. We'll take the points. It's like, it's still 50 yards to kick a field goal. That's a long field goal. I realize Prater's got a cannon, but still, so that's like, I like those. Oh, this is a 23-yarder to win it. Good. You should make this. But yeah, it's just, when they started to move the ball down, you get the chunk plays here and there, getting down the field. It was definitely, gosh, maybe they can do this. Maybe they can do this. Maybe they can do this. And then, ultimately they won. And,
cornbread!
Grifka, what do we got to do? What's something that we can maybe give you that would get you more optimistic? When the Lions get it on the 10, you got Matt Stafford at quarterback, you got all our weapons. Instead of thinking, oh, it's a long way. Oh, I don't know if they can do. Oh man, they probably go 3-and-out and kick it to Kyler Murray and he'll win because he's just this phenomenal talent that everybody loves. Is there something maybe we could give you that would like switch that to where you'd be optimistic and be like, man, we're about to go down and get points and win this football game?
Drink it in, man.
I'm just going to fill up your cup here with a little cornbread and Kool-Aid.
Drink it in, man. Drink it in, man.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Somebody responded to one of your tweets with that, and I loved it.
I think I had to shout it out to somebody too. They were actually popping the bubbly after the W, so I sent them the old Chris Jericho gift. But Grifka, we got to get you some better Detroit Kool-Aid, because I know you think you like to mention on the show, you've been beat down for years. I've seen it a million times. Like, there's got to be a point where you, even though the last couple weeks didn't go our way, where you're just like, all right, I know me and the friends I was texting, which again, me and Grifka are on a no texting anymore during football games because we had many fights and didn't want to lose a friendship over just his negativity and my optimisticness with the Lions. But I know the people I was texting with were like, let's go get this ball game. Let's go take this right now. Let's not even give them the football back. And sure enough, that's what happened. So I absolutely loved it. Matt Prater, absolute money. Gotta love it. Grifka, I know I've shared the different types of Kool-Aid with the people, everybody. I'm sure a lot of you out there drinking a Kool-Aid that me and Grifka don't serve up here on the show, but I told you about the blue Mios. I told you about the Detroit Kool-Aid, which gives you the old okie doke because it's in the packet that actually has the red Kool-Aid man on the front, yet it's blue Kool-Aid. Kind of crazy. But Grifka, I found a new Kool-Aid. I actually haven't tried it yet, but something I want to pub for the people.
Really? What's it called?
Blue Hawaiian Punch, man. Straight up, gosh, I forget what kind it's called. Has some cool name, but man, perfect Lions Honolulu Blue. Go ahead and get yourself a big old, came in the big old jug too. Next time we actually get to tailgate, probably 2021, 2022, whenever that is. Bring in the old big 10-gallon jug of Hawaiian Punch Blue for our Detroit Lions. Absolutely love it.
Oh, okay. That might be something I have to hunt down and give it a try.
Grifka, if I bring you a glass, would you do this?
Drink it in, man.
Yeah, of course I'd try it.
Everybody, drink that Detroit Kool-Aid. We've talked about a lot today. I'm going to be all fired up on a Friday show. There was a couple players I was going to call out because I need a little bit more from them, just kind of like I did last week where they showed up. I'll save that for Friday. You got to check us out there. Everybody, big W for the Detroit Lions. 1 win, 2 losses. We get it. Still lots of work to do. We're going to break down the Saints game on Friday right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. But before we go, I mean, you just never know what might happen here at the end of the show. I mean, I think it's only fitting that we have to turn to the genius, the one and only, the guy that just keeps us on our edge of our seats here on the show. And we just got to check with Grifsky, the waffle maker, one more time to say, hey, Grifka, do you have anything else for the people?
Nope.
He's all out of info, everybody. He's just tapped out. He's going to catch us Friday. It's not a surprise for you, those of you that listen to the show. That's one of our funny things we do here at the end of the show. But everybody, drink that Detroit Kool-Aid. Enjoy this W. Don't let people tell you, oh, they're horrible. They just one lucky win. Who cares? Hey, try to build off this W heading into the bye week. If not, come back after the bye week, play some good football. We'll talk about that Saints game on Friday, try to make you laugh and have a bunch more fun right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Take care, everybody. We're out.
Pack the bag, start the plane. This game is over. It is over. What a comeback by the Lions. Drink it in, man.